All right, welcome everyone. My name is Tony Saccardi and this is Meditation Live. And this is the topic today is stress relief. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before we get started and before we go into meditation to help us with stress, I'd like you to start thinking about what is stressing you out today, uh, and um, and what type of stress are you experiencing? And maybe formulate a question or something that you would like to share for after the meditation, and then we can have a real conversation um, based on real facts, something that you actually experience when we go to the Q&A in 10 minutes from now. So please, take a moment just to think about what's going on right now in your life that may be stressing you out, and how you're reacting to it, and what are you doing about it. And now we're going to look at meditation that's helping with stress relief. The best thing to do when we feel stressed out is to go back to the present, to go back to our body, to our breath, and to take the time to realize that nothing is permanent. Whatever is happening in our life right now is not permanent, and eventually will go away. And that we have more time than we realize. And also that our life is much larger, much bigger than the usual things that are bothering us at the moment. So being late for a meeting, for example, can be a stressful event, especially if it's an important meeting. But when you look at the scale of your life, it's not that important. It's going to be a funny story in 10 years from now when you tell other people. So it's the ability to go there and to think a little bit differently. So let's get into that zone with this meditation. So find your comfortable position. If you are sitting on a chair, have your feet flat on the floor. Your hands should be resting on your lap with the palms facing up or down. Your spine should be relatively straight, but without forcing anything. And your chin should be parallel to the floor. Now take a moment to adjust the position to make it comfortable, stable, relaxed, and also alert and dignified. And when you are ready, slowly, gently close your eyes. And now simply let go. Let go of any tension in your body, dropping your shoulders, checking your jaw for any tension there, making sure you have a space between your upper and lower teeth. Check your upper back, lower back for any unnecessary tension, your arms, your legs, and especially your facial expression. Your forehead, your eyebrows, any tension there. Can you relax your forehead and your eyebrows? All the small muscles around your eyes. Can you soften all the small muscles around your eyes? Your nose, your mouth, your tongue. Do a quick scan of your facial expression and make sure everything is relaxed. Maybe a natural smile will appear on your face as you completely relax. And now let go of everything else. Worries, past, future, stories. Just simply settle into the present moment, being with yourself, in your body, feeling your feet flat on the floor, your hands on your lap, the contact between your body and the chair, and your breath, the gentle movement of your belly and your chest rising up and down as you inhale and you exhale. And now breathing through your nose if possible. Take some longer, deeper breath. Slowly, intentionally filling up your belly and your chest. without forcing, and then slowly, gently, letting all the air out as you exhale. And again, without forcing anything. And then breathing in again at your own pace, feeling your belly, your chest, and then slowly exhaling all the air out. Do a few more like this at your own rhythm, your own pace, whatever is right for you. And using the exhale to let go of tension in your body, to let go of worries, maybe of negative thoughts, of anything that doesn't serve you right now. Letting go as you breathe out. And maybe there is a sigh when you breathe out as you let go. Making room for nice, refreshing energy to come into your body as you breathe in, and letting go as you breathe out. And when you're ready, come back to your normal breathing. Let your breathing be natural. And simply be aware of the movement of your breath, of your belly and your chest rising up and falling down as you inhale and you exhale. And feel the sensations in your body. Bring your attention to your navel and feel the sensations there. The movement from the breathing, the pressure, the temperature, and also the energy. And if any time you find yourself wandering in your thoughts, simply come back to the present inside your body, focusing on your breathing, on your navel. And feel free to include the other parts of your body, widening your focus, including your arms, your hands, your legs, your feet, your chest, your spine, the top of your head, your ears, the back of your neck, your throat, your whole face. Have a sensation of your whole body at once. And now slowly, gently, taking all the time you need, slowly come back. to the time of the day, the room where you are. Your feet on the floor, your hands on your lap. You can wiggle your toes, your fingers, stretch if you feel like it. You take a couple of deeper breaths. And when you are ready, on your own time, slowly, gently open your eyes.
Welcome back to class, everyone. This is Kat from Meditation Live. Thank you, Tony. That was really stress relieving for me anyway. So we'll now move on to our mindful discussion, where anyone tuning in can share their experience or ask any questions you have. You know, like I asked at the beginning, what's stressing you out right now? What would you like to learn about how meditation can help with that? And you can do that by just tapping your screen, typing in a question to the Q&A box, or raising your hand, and we'll be able to let you speak on audio. And so while we wait for any questions to come in, I do have a question about the kind of stress that comes from the fear of letting people down. So let's say that there's a client or just a loved one, just somebody in our life who, you know, we're worried about messing up or disappointing them, and that can cause some stress. And at the beginning, you said, you know, part of this practice is remembering these things in life aren't so important. But I would argue that these people in our lives are important, and you know, that's maybe a good thing. So how do we kind of have both ways?
Yeah, sometimes we find ourselves between a rock and a hard place. It happened to me recently. I scheduled an event for my daughter, who recently came back home from taking a gap year, inviting a lot of people over the weekend to come to my house. And then I get this incredible opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity to go to a seminar during the weekend. And 2 or 3 days before the event, I have to tell my wife and my daughter that I may be gone during the weekend, which is really letting them down. So that was really stressful for me. And I had to stop and take some deep breath and really look inside and look at that scale, in the scale of a lifetime. How important is that? Yes, I may be disappointing my family. I may be doing something that they're going to think is really wrong, but that's something that's so important for me that I may do it anyway. Or it may be that, is it really that important what I want to do? And on the scale of my life. Is it something that I can wait a little longer before I do it? So now I come to a space where I have more time to think, because I'm not in the stress mode of, oh my God, I have to do this right now. It's more like, oh, wait a second, in the scale of my life, I got time to think. So let me think about it. And I thought about it, and I took what I thought was the right decision. And that really helped me. But many things in our lives are like that. We're afraid to disappoint people. We're afraid to do something wrong. To take the time to think about it on a larger scale will help us to come with the right arguments and to actually be able to have a conversation with them. The problem is that when we are really attached to something, identified with something, like we feel we absolutely have to do it, or when we think that we know what people think about us and what we're about to do, then we make assumptions about them. Then chances are we're going to get in a really stressful situation for everyone. But if we are able to take some distance from all this, then it's easier to talk with people and think, first ourselves, take the time to think, and then talk with people and have a serious conversation, but also a pleasant conversation with them, and not getting into the stressful mode and get more into the wide mode, the open mode of what's possible.
That's really helpful. Yeah, something that you said that really stuck with me there is we make assumptions. We think we know what people are thinking of us. And something that recently occurred to me is I'm probably not as important as I think I am in these people's lives. Mm-hmm. And actually that's kind of a result of meditation, is realizing that actually, this kind of like weight that we put on everything, including what we think people think of us, is all, it's probably not that big a deal.
Sometimes it is so true. We have a tendency to think about ourselves as the center of the universe. And when we do that, we carry too much on our shoulders. And meditation, like you said, helps us to shed that, to get rid of that image of ourselves at the center of the universe, and to realize that we are millions of people, and there are billions of people, and we're not alone, and we are so much alike. So there is room for a lot of understanding between us as well.
Right. And again, this is why everyone might benefit from meditation, because, you know, if we're all thinking like this, we're probably going to have less conflict as well.
That's so true.
It kind of made me think, I wonder if if certain types of meditation are more suited to those kind of realizations. You know, I've done some different meditations today. One involved a more diffuse attention. So observing what's in the room, how you feel. Whereas the practice that we had earlier to do with creativity, you guided us through a visualization. There are different types of meditation. Do you think there's one that's particularly good for coming to that realization, seeing the bigger picture?
Yeah, there's so much. A lot of the meditations that we do really help with stress. The first one, of course, is the breathing exercise. So the breathing, like we did today, will really help to diffuse what's going on inside. So when we get stressed out, there is a mechanism inside that takes place between the amygdala, the hypothalamus, and the pituitary that will add some adrenaline and cortisol in our body, which is why we feel stressed out. Those things make us feel like I have to do something right now, otherwise something really bad is going to happen. And we have all this energy, the heartbeat going faster, shallow breathing. Those are the symptoms that, you know, we are stressed out. And at that time, the best thing we can do is the breathing exercise, the stop exercise, to stop right there, to take some longer, deeper breath, so we can switch from the fight or flight system to the parasympathetic system. And once we're there, to observe what's going on. What do I feel right now? Where is that coming from? Is it that important? Can I take some perspective? And then proceed after we've done that. So stop, stop, take some longer, deeper breath, observe what's going on, and then proceed. And so that's based on the breathing meditation. The other meditation you mentioned is that was based on creativity, is visualization, but also open awareness. I think open awareness is the one that really helps us letting go. And in fact, some people call open awareness meditation the letting go meditation. Is when you let go of your ego, become an observer, and simply observe what's going on outside and inside, and how you react to it. So you take a distance and observe your thoughts, your emotions, and that creates the ability to be able to not identify with them, to take a distance, to not attach to them. When you have that, when you meditate like this for a long time, then your ego is not as strong anymore, and you are able to let go of your ego and be more present, to be more of yourself, actually.
Thank you, Tony. And we have a question from Rupal, who's asking, how important is food and sleep in overcoming stress? And Rupal, I see your hand up. I'm going to let you come on the mic if you'd like. But we're going to cover this question now anyway. So if you don't have anything
is getting enough sleep for stress?
Yes, food and sleep in overcoming stress. So
sleep is so important, and today at the workplace, so many people don't get enough sleep. They work 50, 60 hours a week, don't get enough sleep, and that results in a lot of stress. What happens then when you don't get enough sleep is that there is so much that's happening, but it will impact your brain, your ability to think, and it will also impact your body and the energy that you have. And when that happens, you feel stressed out at a physical level. and that's not going to be helpful. That's going to be very difficult to release stress when you don't get enough sleep. So one of the first things that I tell my client that I coach individually is to make sure that they get enough sleep. It's different for everyone. Some people will have enough with 7. Some people need 8 hours. There are some people who say they can get away with like 4 or 5, but that's 1 in 100. For most of us who need 7 or 8 hours of sleep. So it's very important to respect nature and what we need to replenish the energy inside, and sleep is one of them. Food is also important, and it's about eating right and what's right for you and what's helpful for you. I would say in terms of stress, if you have a lot of sugar in your diet, a lot of sodas or energy drinks or whatever, that's also is gonna create difficulties inside to find that quiet space, and that's probably is not good for you. So changing your food habits may help as well. Another one is exercising. Sometimes I see people like working, and not exercising for a full week. And that's really bad too, because it kind of like poisons your body when you don't get enough exercise. So it's very important to have like something going on in your life, such as exercising or yoga or doing something like this with your body. I would say at least once every other day if you want to keep healthy and being able to function normally.
That's really helpful. Great advice, Tony. Thank you. We're nearly out of time, but we do have one more question from Ashley, which I think is really great. She had a very stressful morning, and at these times tends to start overthinking, and then a lot of negative things start to come up. Oops, sorry. And she does try to take deep breaths, and she does start to feel better, but then the thoughts start arising again. So any advice on trying to.
And it depends on the what's going on. I mean, sometimes we have events in our life that will make us really stressed out. The loss of a job, the loss of a relationship, or things like this can put us in a state where there will be like a hurricane in our head, like of thoughts coming in, and that's very hard to stop. The deep breathing is still going to help, and I would add to it to also stop breathing for a count of maybe 2, 3, 4, whatever you can do between the inhale and the exhale. And if you are able to also stop breathing between the exhale and the inhale, and what message goes to your mind when you do that is that, oops, something is wrong, I better pay attention. And then that will maybe stop momentarily that flow of thoughts. And doing a longer session, like doing meditation maybe for a half an hour or an hour instead of 10 minutes is going to be more helpful, help you to get to a different place. This happened to me recently. I had an event in my life that caused a lot of stress and a lot of thoughts coming in. And I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was wondering what was going on. I could not do anything to stop it. So I simply got up and went to meditate and I didn't realize it, but at the time I meditated for like almost 2 hours. And I didn't know it when I look at the clock. I was like, what went on? But I stayed with the meditation until I felt I was past that hurricane of thoughts in my head, and it really helped me. It helped me to kind of resolve the situation, to accept the situation, and to look at it from a different angle. If something really big is happening in your life, also seek help, from family, friends, professional help if needed. There are different levels of stress. Sometimes we started to talk about this today, thinking about being late for a meeting, having a problem with the presentation, being worried about the promotion or the bonus, that sort of things. When it's something a lot bigger than that, then we all need help, and we need to find outside help as well.
Thank you, Tony. I think that's all we have time for today. If you'd like to close up, thank you everyone for attending, and thank you for your wonderful questions.
Wonderful. Great question. Thank you so much for asking. I'm going to close this with a quote from Wayne Dyer. He said, upon awakening, let the words "thank you" flow from your lips, for this will remind you to begin your day with gratitude and compassion. Thank you very much for meditating with me today on Meditation Live, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.